We're thinking, hey, we're live. Thanks, folks, for tuning into the BAMF podcast. I apologize for being a little too loud there, but I own my second cup of coffee in the last half hour, so I'm popping on the radio. And we are here to do episode 4 of Super Shorts, which I have dubbed the Liberty Legion Rises. Alice Pang, aka Lala, is jamming. How you doing, Alice?
Hi, I'm doing great.
And I'm just going to do a quick rundown of our players. We have Aid Smith as the Green Knight, right, Aid?
That's correct.
Thank you for joining us. We have Brandon Powers as Uplifted Police K9 Ragnarok.
Howdy, howdy.
We have Walt Rebillard as Mystical Archer X Archer.
Hello.
And Nick, I haven't seen your character in action yet. I understand your name is Mud and you have time control powers and you're kind of a wisecracker, but that's all I've got.
Yes.
All right, cool. That works.
That is correct.
And
I have an important question here. Does X Archer have a cat arrow?
He will.
Awesome.
When I drop the Liberty Legion, when I finally get that, yeah, he'll have a cat arrow.
This he's going to be a cat arrow in a second. He's going to launch across the room. At which case, he will then become a rapidly accelerating chew toy for the dog.
We have a sponsor for this week's podcast, Philadelphia sandwich shop. What is their name again? The Roast Pork Sandwich at Dinnick's.
Nice. Located
at 51 North 12th Street. Oh, I'm sorry. The name is just Dinnick's. And that's their address, and that's the roast pork sandwich is their specialty. Anyway, they like that we're based in Philadelphia, so that's totally fake advertisement we have. I wasn't here last time. Thanks
flyers you've been passing out?
Exactly.
I was wondering if somebody from Philly actually reached out to you about this.
Yeah, I was on the hook there for a minute too.
Oh yeah, he got me good. It was just like, oh.
I know.
Now, what'll be really cool is next time Aid throws the thing out, we'd have no idea.
I'm sponsored by Fish and Chips at this place.
Okay, who wants to give recap today?
Recap.
30-second recap. Somebody, and it can't be Brandon because he did the last one. Come on. Okay, fine.
Well, technically, the GM did the last one, and I did the time before. Yeah.
Okay, Brandon, you go. I volunteer you then. Recap last week.
All right, the Liberty Legion, after being awesome teenage underage girls in a club, got teleported by X Archer. Mag Chloride did not make the teleport, or perhaps he got teleported somewhere else. We have yet to find out. We end up in a warehouse where a bunch of guys with bows and arrows, as well as Walt's ex-girlfriend, are trying to kill us. The warehouse is rigged to explode. I call out for the Liberty Legion to flee the spot. X Archer opens up another teleport. We grab Black Rice and throw him through the portal. On the Bramble Steed. All of us flee. Walt has to leash me up to get me out of there. The warehouse blows up. We see a fire on the news later on in that area. We interview Black Rice and find out that somebody down the Beagle on Fleagle has been getting junkies to come down there, and they haven't been coming back, basically. And so we're going to go look into that. The Beagle on Fleagle is in the warehouse district, but it is not in the same area as the fire went on.
No. It is in the same area as the fire went on. You guys were like, oh, the warehouse is by the docks. I said, no, it's the warehouse in the inner city district warehouses, which happens to be in the same warehouse district as the fires as well.
Okay,
they're
we
just
kept
not neighboring
asking.
buildings.
Everybody kept asking, and you were like, no, they're not they're like several blocks away.
Yeah, they're several blocks away, but they are in the same district. They're not on the docks. They're all in the inner city.
All right. And then we went out for some shawarma. Now we have gone to Mecca, the multi-educational center for correctional athletics. While running into the gatekeeper at Mecca, Ragnarok decided to go ballistic and charge through. He is currently ransacking the office with his awesome super strength, just acting like a dog. And you guys are in a very Keystone Cops montage, chasing after him and trying to delay any of the local security, basically, while everybody does a quick search in the office to see if there's anything there.
Yep.
Back to you.
Back to me. So, you guys are in the office this morning. At least the dog is in the office doing a very quick search right now. And the rest of the party is chasing after you guys. And as per a lot of hospitals and medical clinics, they have TVs all around. And so on TV, you guys see that it's currently turned on to the news, the morning news, since you guys went there right at opening. The news, there's a gentleman sitting at the desk and says, hockey idol George Gothrin in critical condition at Northeastern Hospital after altercations on the ice and sudden illness. We go to Allison Veal at the hospital for more. Thank you, Arthur. Yes, I'm here at Northeastern Hospital, speaking with family and teammates of George Gothrin, trying to understand what exactly happened. You see that she is then pans to an interview, and you guys are, hearing this as you guys are moving through. And as she does a couple sound bites with people, but then a nurse comes out and shoos everyone out, and you guys, out of the corner of your eye, catch that she. As she's being ushered out of the room, she's pointing, gesturing for the camera to point somewhere. And you see the camera pan over to two people dressed in medical garb, in medical scrubs. You're not sure if it's a nurse and doctor or two doctors or whatnot, talking to what seems to have been already introduced as the matron of the family, the mother of George Gothrin, and a quick snap of the fact that the woman's face is very distressed as the camera shooed out of the waiting room, and then she throws it back to the studio. So while that is going on, you guys are chasing down the hall and catching tidbits of this on cameras nearby, or hearing it through whatnot, through neighboring rooms. Brandon, why don't you roll me that search check you were looking to search?
Okay. I have got my 2 dice of investigation.
Sure. And
I have got a wonderful 5.
Ooh. On a 5. Well, on a 5, you still notice what we mentioned last week, which was
about the Hugo
the portfolio.
Severid that is the doctor that's coming from some sort of Eastern European country that has no extradition treaties.
Latvia.
That is Hugo Severid, that he is a visiting doctor with specialties in next-gen medical tech, dealing with DNA, adjusting DNA, as well as stem cell research, and those are the types of things he specializes in and works with. Yes, but beyond that, you don't really see anything else in the office. They do have several locked file cabinets, which on a 5 you weren't quite able to get into.
I wasn't using my investigation to get into a locked file cabinet.
Okay.
I was using my super strength to get into a locked file cabinet.
Do you want to actually break the file cabinet and make that kind of mess?
Brute force and ignorance. Let's go.
Best mess that I can make to cover up the investigation
is a huge mess.
There we go.
Okay, get you guys thrown out of Mecca. Got it.
Well, get me thrown out.
Can't wait till he starts peeing on some of the members.
It's
19.
just a dog. It's
19.
a dog.
Wow. Okay, you pop it open and you start throwing files everywhere. And this is, and you guys see this as you guys come in, catch up. 2 security guards are trailing behind you guys, and you see that the file cabinet has been ripped open, knocked over, and files are being strewn everywhere. And he's pawing at it. And, ah! Kind of an ugly mess, but that is a hilarious comic panel. So
the look on everyone's face, like, oh god.
So what would the team like to do?
And did mag chloride come with us to Mecca? Is that?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah, sure. Mag chloride did come with you guys to Mecca.
Don't split the party. Good.
By the way, Mike. No, yeah. Mike, this is not personal, but when you were teleported, you wound up in a dumpster.
There's so many other places you could put me. You gotta put me in a dumpster?
Hey,
yes,
be glad it wasn't on fire.
It's true.
Okay, well, in this world, the dumpster is probably an Internet by Things device, and he's a friend of mine, so that's okay. Wally over on
your friend. It's your friend Cassie. Kasee. Cassie. Sure.
So
I nominate competency.
It's okay. So
You already got a competency die for being a barbecue smoker. I hope
I'm
you
a
kept.
robot of many talents. So I guess I am plugged from the streets department. Turn off It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and join them at Mecca, where Ragnarok's tearing up an office. And what do we do
Yep.
now, guys?
That would be the next morning. Yes, you
Okay.
cleaned up and you went to Mecca the next morning with them.
Don't worry, Mag. You weren't the only one in a dumpster last night.
No, you weren't. Like I said, there was nothing personal. Brandon jumped into a dumpster on purpose. So,
I am going to be trying to restrain, in very Austin Power quotes, Ragnarok. So
okay.
I'm running
Chasing-
around with the leash, kind of like, no, Ragnarok, don't stop, no.
Roll me a bluff check of some sort.
Oh, I have a character sheet somewhere.
Yes, you do.
And in the shape of a character sheet, I have nothing that would help me with this, so this is going to be extremely convincing. All right, I got a 4.
You
4.
sound like a regular person whose dog is going crazy, and you're like, no, don't do that. Stop it. And everybody else is losing their shit, but the owner doesn't seem to care.
Yeah, that tends to be pretty common,
He'll
doesn't it?
finish
Isn't it?
when he's done.
Okay. Hey, Brandon, are you going to let the cops restrain you, or are you going to be a super dog on this?
No. I am doing undercover work right now, and you need to play the role there, so I,
Okay.
by all means, will allow them to restrain me with only minimal effort.
Okay. Well, to make
You know,
in
2,
case
maybe 3 of them holding on to me before they stop me.
yeah, there's going to be 2 of them. In case that you didn't get it, you guys are getting thrown out at this point.
Or are we?
Yes, or are we? Because, like somebody like Aid, who has not really been a party to all of this and has been very inconspicuous,
True.
could
Aid.
continue to snoop.
Are you going to stay in here?
This very dignified British man wearing a tweed jacket in the corner is in no way affiliated with our shenanigans.
Wow, those 2 cups of coffee are in high gear today. I love it.
Wait till the whiskey kicks in.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, the owner of the dog and the dog are definitely being kicked out.
Yeah, that would be me and him.
Yes. Nick, why don't you tell me how you would try and keep them from kicking you out, since you vouched for those 2?
Oh, let's see here.
There was one time at band camp.
This one time at band camp.
To give Nick a moment, Walter, we walk out, and I'm like, that place was cleaner than a toy poodle's ass.
And speaking of toy poodle's ass, do you want to go get tacos?
Whiskey burns when it comes out your nose. Come on, killing me here. How am I gonna handle this?
Oh, don't worry. When I kill you, you'll know better.
Oh wow! Wow!
You'll see it coming. I won't come up behind you. I'll make sure you see it coming.
And you'll be armed. All Mal Reynolds like. Oh my! Cleaner than a toy poodle's ass. That's an image now in my head.
I was just thinking of Long Kiss Goodnight, where the old super spy is sitting there with like his mom or something, and he's like, the dog's been licking its ass for 30 minutes.
There's either gone for good or there to stay.
Yes.
So while I give Nick some time to try and figure that out, Aid, you have been pretty inconspicuous, like they said, and you have, and given your approach at the club, I would assume your approach here is similar. I am not with these weirdos.
I know. I think Aid needs a new superpower, not part of the shenanigans.
Okay, so Ragnarok's role wasn't high enough to discover anything. Is that correct?
Correct. All he found was what was clearly on the table, on the desk.
Okay, so what I will attempt to do, if Ragnarok has pulled a load of stuff all over the floor, I will start going, oh, let me help. I'll tidy stuff up and start picking up papers randomly, and I will try and make an investigation roll to see if I can pick anything up as I do that.
Sure. When you start doing that is when the owner of the office comes in.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no. The owner I already said was gone today, so never mind. They just have one of the assistants in
They
Mecca
could have
come in.
lied to us.
No, one of the assistants of Mecca comes in and is going, my boss is going to kill me. Oh my gosh. And so she is trying to help you clean the mess up as
Cool.
well.
Yeah, so yeah, don't worry. Don't worry, I can help. I know the dog's crazy. Don't worry about it. Seen it happen before. Tore a chicken coop apart one time. You don't know anything about. Anyway,
Maybe you
Comp
could get some
die.
digits there, Professor Davis.
so
You got a comp die there.
okay, cool. So I rolled an 8 on my roll for investigation, but I will
Okay.
use that competency dice to actually add to it. So I actually got a 12.
Yes.
12. Okay.
Nice.
So what you find interesting is that there is actually, you happen to pick up some paperwork that mentions George Gothrin came here after his injury, like he was sent. He then stopped coming for appointments. He had several appointments that he just didn't show up for at all. He was no call, no show, and they were actually looking to drop him as a client here because after 4 no call, no shows, they were like, we don't want to, the doctors are tired of dealing with him.
So is that like one a week? So he's been gone for a month, or has it been spread
Yeah,
out a bit further?
one a week.
Okay, so about a month ago, his last showed up.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And in addition to that, you got a 12, right?
Yep.
You notice actually there are a couple other people that are no call, no shows. There are 3 other patients that are no call, no shows. One was about 4 months ago, one was about 2 months ago, and another one was about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, and do the names jump out as being anyone like in a sports team or anything that actually are immediately
No.
recognised, or they're just random people?
They're just random people.
Okay.
So, that's what you find on the 12th. And you help them tidy up a little bit. Mad Chloride, what are you doing in the chaos? In your trench coat disguise of pretending to be a person in this place.
It's kind of hard for me to pretend to be a person.
True. In your trench coat disguise of being less, yeah. So what are you doing?
You should get physical therapy for that cramp.
How much was Green Knight able to uncover with his investigations, and do I know that?
I don't. Well, that depends on your communication with Green Knight.
Okay. So
I'm assuming we don't have little cool comm pieces in our ears like the Justice League or anything.
You can have comm pieces.
You haven't got any kind of hacking thing you can actually hack into computers with or anything to actually get anything from the database rather than paperwork?
Alas, no. I'm a very functional snow removal robot.
Yeah, very mundane job over. Yeah.
Yeah, I cannot. Maybe I should spend some experience points into getting skills like that. But no, I have fighting, streetwise, and vehicles as my aptitudes.
I just see him looking like K2SO from Rogue One.
Yeah, pretty much. I can hit things and shoot things.
Do you want to know the probability of her using that gun against you? It's high, really high.
By the way, after this session, I'm giving everyone an experience point competency die.
Actually, that's pretty similar to the way that I pictured him. I just went up and looked up the pictures for that again.
Oh, for K2SO?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. K2SO.
It looks like Ragnarok and X-Archer caused chaos. Aid seems like Green Knight's done a fairly effective job of investigation. I will just kind of hang out in the hallway here, see if he needs help with anything, and let Mud do his thing.
Okay.
I'm going to fake a heart attack.
Okay. You're going to fake a heart attack, Nick.
I'm going to fake a heart attack to draw attention away from the chaos.
Roll your bluff.
Roll my bluff.
Yep.
Do I have bluff?
You don't get these well thought out plans in the movies or TV shows, guys.
No,
it's only
you don't.
only in role playing games that you get these really high quality, well thought out plans.
Yep.
I've seen this on the job so many times. People faking a heart attack when I try to arrest them. It's hilarious. Until I give them a sternal rub. What do I roll for that there? A bluff.
Yeah. I don't know what the sternal rub's supposed to do. All I know is I wake up with chest pains from sternal rubs like minutes later because I'm non-responsive. They sternal rub me, and I'm still non-responsive, and so they sternal rub me. So when I eventually wake up several minutes later, I'm like, oh my gosh, my chest hurts.
What do I roll for a bluff?
Presents.
Presents.
To which I have none. So that's what, one die.
One die.
No
Holy crap.
presents.
Medical. If you've got medical, that might work too because
do
it's
have
a
medical.
Yeah,
medical
I'll allow you to
approach.
There we
roll
go.
medical.
Cool. That gives me 3 die.
Cool, roll it.
All right, and I got an 8.
You got an 8. Well, that's kind of believable, at least on the onset of it. And so you see several
Could be heartburn. Could be a myocardial infarction. Who knows?
Yeah, it could also be just a panic attack. We'll see.
Had one of those. Oof.
So you see the receptionist call for get on the intercom that she needs a crash team right now, that you guys have an incident, and she runs over to you, and she's trying to evaluate you, starts poking and prodding and such, and several other medical professionals show up, and you get the mask, and how you're faking kind of well, so I'm going to say they start to bag you. They're not intubating you yet, but they do start to bag you. How's that?
That's good, because I haven't faked unconscious yet. I'm still kind of like, my chest. Oh, the excitement. Oh, I'm a combat vet. Oh, my PTSD. Oh, my sciatica. Oh, my heart. Oh, I need a backiotomy. You guys are medical professionals. What are you doing? Come over and help me. Help me.
Yeah. So they're going to help you, and they're going to carry you away, put you on a backboard, and carry you into a nearby exam room.
I'm waiting for him to start
you're
going
out of the way.
I'm waiting for him to start going into the James Brown Saturday Night Live. Is it hot? Is it wet?
Touch
Good
myself.
God, help me!
And then I give a little thumbs up and a wink to X Archer and Rag. I'm like, I got this.
Okay.
I was worried there for a minute. You almost interrupted tacos.
And X Archer and Rag head out.
I'll just let you know, Walt. I'll never interrupt tacos ever. As soon as I get done with this, I'm going to join you.
The bromance is real.
The bromance is real. I gotta love tacos.
Well, notice that he's going out to tacos with your two bromances are going out to tacos without you.
No, we'll save. We'll save. They reheat.
Damn right.
Okay.
What do you mean we'll save?
So,
So-
Aid, Mike, what's going on?
Yeah. Aid, why don't we go with you?
I'm the most unsuperhero-y superhero.
Yeah, Aid, why don't we go to you? That's the information you found. Where would you like to take that at that point?
Okay, so I can only really tie you up for a certain amount of time before it starts looking like I'm literally hanging around. So I will do as much as I can, and then I'll kind of just start wandering out back towards the front desk.
Okay.
As if to look for everybody else, and then kind of as I pass the robot, I will kind of say, "Okay, I think I might have found something," and explain about the people missing their appointments over the last month or so.
Excellent. Okay, then I quietly and discreetly, as a 6-foot robot can, say, let's go use my connections with the city streets department to pull some of these drivers' records and see where these people live.
Sure, that sounds great. And I figured that they got Brandon in as a support dog. They'll get you in as a support robot. So, yeah, you guys can head out.
I'm a local hero with a stack of cheesesteak coupons. No one needs to.
Yes, and your cheesesteak coupons has refilled between sessions.
I would hope so. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Did he buy wealth, and is this the expression of his wealth in this game?
I don't know. I'm beginning to think I should charge him a point of wealth for that, though. It's the way that he uses it. Because wealth is what you use to bribe people.
I'm a local celebrity. I'm like Ed Koch in New York, or hell, who's famous in Texas these days? Willie Nelson. I'm like that. I'm like the Willie Nelson.
You lose a competency die for that one.
Really? Willie isn't well loved there in Lone Star State?
It's high. Really high.
So's Willie.
Exactly.
So you are going to go down to the Department of Streets and pull driving records for them. Sure. So Mecca does have a record of doing some pro bono work with vets, like we've already talked about, for the fact that
Wait,
Nick is a vet.
What are we talking about bones for?
Veteran.
I don't want a veteran's bone. I just want a bone to chew on.
But you
Stay away
pull,
from my bone, Rag.
you go and you pull up these records for these 3 people. The one that no call, no show 4 months ago, 2 months ago, and then 2 weeks ago. And all 3 of them are military veterans. In fact, all 3 of them, last known address and last known real reporting in was before they were discharged. It looks like all 3 of them were homeless.
Oh, kicking a dude while he's down, that's not good.
So, though the other 3 are homeless vets.
Okay, so who actually funds their this project then? If surely the other people are like funded by like the sports teams or whatever that actually the people play on. So why were we've got homeless people being given effectively like
because
superpower
they're
stuff?
military vets, and so they are getting a stipend. They're getting a subsidized by the government.
So it's coming through a government fund.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And also they do charity work and outreach with they have a very nice reputation, and so this is part of their outreach program and such. So they're getting a little bit of money from the government as part of their military vets program, but it's not going to make up for all the money they're actually spending. But that's part of their "we're giving back" thing.
Green Knight, I think that's an excellent question. I say that they're supervillains. They've been kidnapping girls off the street, and they're trying to make the veterans into an army of zombie slaves that will take over the world for them.
Wrong campaign, Brandon. That's your campaign. Stop telling me about what you're running us.
Let's bust them.
And this is why I sacrifice sleep right here.
Well, while Ragnarok chews on scenery, can the rest of us devise a plan?
Yeah, please do. What do you guys want to do at this point?
So we tried to track down. We had names of guys who had gone missing. We tracked down their addresses. They didn't have addresses, so it tells us a little, but not to act on.
Okay, and the news report we saw on TV, was that a live broadcast feed or was that something that happened recently?
That was it seemed like it was a live broadcast feed this morning.
Right. Okay.
So Northeastern Hospital.
Yes, we've also got, what was the other lead we abandoned to come here? I can't remember what that was.
The fires on Flegel Street.
Yes, fires.
Right.
Wait, were the fires on Flegel Street? Because the Beagle was on Flegel.
The Beagle's on Flegel. There was fires nearby.
Who's on Bert?
Yes. That's it. That's the other guy's name is what I'm thinking about. Yeah, that guy. And we still haven't found out. We assumed that those posters that we found last time still had the ones we saw still had the mystical doodad in them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, True North happens to be a boy band that is actually known, and people do go to their concerts and all. So it's not like they're a band out of nowhere, but they've been touring for a couple of years now.
I think I saw them in Kandahar at a USO show.
Exactly.
And the concert was when?
The concert was next week.
Right. That's what I thought you said.
Lovely little lads. Can't sing for shit, but...
So we got a fire on Flegel
They're
Street.
probably lip syncing. Sorry, Mike, what was that?
There's a fire on Flegel Street we could investigate. There's the True North concert next week, which can maybe be next session or whatever, when that poster has mystical symbols on it. And there's the memorial service, it sounded like, going on at there's the gathering of concerned family and friends at Northeastern Hospital.
Yep.
Do we want to divide and conquer? Send someone to the fire, send someone to the hospital, and someone else can track down who made the posters with the mystical wackadoo in it?
That could work.
Oh, I'd love to try a wackadoo.
I'm going to save you guys a little bit of time.
Okay.
I'm going to save you guys a little bit of time. Walt, I'm going to put a little GM thing in there and say that because you were investigating the mystical stuff and you were making rolls, later that night when you were home, something was picking at the back of your brain, so you went through some of your old research and stuff, and you think that True North might be that the concert posters might be associated with somehow associated with Black Compass.
Fucking Black Compass.
Those guys again.
Damn my lack of note taking. I've totally forgot about those assholes.
Damn it, Brittany.
What do you want? Sometimes the brain takes a while to get back into my head after the transformation.
So this is a parallel plot, I assume. I don't believe Black Compass have got anything to do with Mecca.
George Gothrin. No.
Yeah.
You don't think they're involved in the boost, the juice, getting these people hooked up on their crank?
Oh my god.
We're gonna go bankrupt of competency dice for this guy. It's gonna happen.
Speaking of which, Brandon, another comp die for all that. I'm trying to like ration it out because if I keep giving Brandon comp dice, he's just gonna end up with like 20. So I'm not giving it for him.
I'll become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
And that's the problem.
There'll be Ragna 1 Kenobi over there.
There'll be no stopping us now.
Can we do a flashback and explain to those of us who might have faulty aging memories who Black Compass was?
You weren't around. Those are the guys that tried to kill us in the warehouse.
Yep.
Okay.
They're the ones that try to kill you guys at the warehouse and
Run by my ex-girlfriend.
Yes.
All right, so
that chick.
Are these guys? It's all right. So it's your ex-girlfriend, ex-archer. Is she
well, the ex-girlfriend thing hasn't been established necessarily. Maybe by them, maybe she is. What was established by the GM so far is that she, as she was escaping, she called out in Latin that this. Gosh, I don't have my statement.
See you later,
anymore.
toots.
It's,
I think that's what it was Latin.
I'll see you another day, son of traitor.
Ex-archer, are you a traitor to some mystical cabal here in Philadelphia?
No, not exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, those mystics, they're the one that hide the squeaking toys, aren't they?
It's true, and they're also the one that they're also the ones that put those tags on them so you can't just take them out of the pet store like you should.
I bet they're responsible for tags on pillows too that you're not supposed to remove.
And mattresses. It's a whole filthy conspiracy.
And so where would you guys like to go at this point? Aid, actually, I do want you to make me a roll. I don't have your character sheet on hand, unfortunately. What do you have any occult or anything like that? I believe you do. Yes. You have
3D of occult. Yeah.
Yeah. Roll me your occult.
Okay. Oh, it's not great. It's a 6.
It's a 6. That's fine. As you are leaving Mecca, you do actually feel a ley line nearby, like a hum of a ley line nearby. It's
okay.
It's not something Walt's going to necessarily feel because this is something tied to the nature of Earth.
Okay. So could I get over wander and see if I can actually track it down and see how near it actually is to this place?
Sure.
Or is it actually going to go underneath the actual area?
It's going to be going underneath, somewhere nearby. But yeah, it seems basically that Mecca is touching this ley line.
Okay. Okay.
A boobin, not bourbon, boobin. Walt.
It happens. My spelling sometimes. It's all the boobin.
But yeah, you can get your group together, and with you following and just trying to hone in on that resonation that you're feeling, that hum as it's tying to that that nature that courses through you because of the Green Knight. You basically can feel that the ley line is kind of touching on where Mecca is.
So would my plant control or my what else have I got? Yeah, that's probably the best thing I've got. Or plant body, elemental form. Would that make it easier for me to feel this thing if I was actually my heroic form, or would it?
Yes, it would.
Okie dokie then. So I'll say, right, just 1 second, and I'll stand there and I'll do the same thing again. The tree bark and stuff forms over his body, appears.
Okay.
And he'll stand there, and the Green Knight will say, I have felt his mind. Apparently, I need to try a cheeseburger. And then when I've done that, I'll kick into the ley line searching down as well.
Alice,
Sure. Uh-huh.
he becomes a tree. I have to pee on him. Fire hydrant, Meg, and a tree that walk with me. I mean, both of these are where I'm going to have to go.
That is true. He's asking for trouble.
Okay. So you pee on the tree. Cool. You mark the tree. You mark the robot.
That way, my territory extends with us. I have 2 markers that say my territory.
I don't know, Mike. Does Mag Chloride feel a little jealous that someone else is getting marked with urine?
No. Cool.
No.
It's all right.
Mike, I wish you were on camera right now because I could just picture the face that you had. No.
Yeah, sorry. It's I'm not camera worthy at the moment.
No problem.
No.
I don't think any of us consider ourselves 2B. I mean, like, Walt rolled out of bed and was like, camera on.
No, we're like the America of podcasts. Give us your unwashed masses, you know.
So, feeling that vibe, Aid, you hone in, and yeah, it seems like you can follow it. How exactly do you want to follow? Where do you want to go with it?
So they tend to just kind of crisscross across everywhere, don't they? So
yes.
I'll basically,
you don't feel that this is a nexus by any means, so it's not a nexus point for ley lines, but wherever there is a ley line, there is just extra power by all means, and there is and it does touch upon the underneath where Mecha is built. Might be why it's such a fortuitous location.
So do you think that we need to get in below? I could dig a tunnel. We could break into the place and start freeing the prisoners.
I don't think no.
I'll pat him on the head. I don't think we're at prisoner freeing stages just yet. Eat your taco.
Okay. Okay. Can I eat yours too?
Fine.
Okay. So, looking in kind of the direction this runs, I will try and point to someone who actually knows the city, because again, I have a vague knowledge of it, but I can't read maps. Maps aren't my thing. Okay. So I will kind of see if it points to any of the potential locations we need to visit that would kind of tie the two together. So the warehouses, the concert hall, whatever that would possibly lay along this ley line.
The warehouses, actually, with a little work, you can sense that it goes towards the warehouses.
Can I streetwise?
Yeah, Brandon, go ahead and streetwise.
I've got a 9.
9. Yeah, it definitely goes to the burn. It definitely goes to this warehouses, towards the warehouses.
And that's where you were last time, wasn't it?
I smell the burning of fire and injustice over there. The warehouses are there.
Okay.
We need to go investigate the burning, the sensation that he's feeling right now. So let's.
You sure we don't need to get him some antibiotics?
Penicillin, perhaps. I don't know.
I
It's
start
probably the
looking myself right on the sidewalk there.
Okay.
All right, so Green Knight, lead on.
Okay. Okay. They are pretty straight line, aren't they? So I can pretty much just point. And
no, wait. Ley lines generally, if you believe in the concept of ley lines and look at ley line maps, they're kind of like a road. They're long.
Then we'll take a direct route, but I will kind of keep it on so I know where they are. Yeah.
Sure.
Go see.
Next panel, you guys come upon the burned down husk of the warehouse you guys were at last night.
I checked this place last night for smells. I couldn't find your ex-girlfriend's scent anywhere.
At this point, the location is the police have cleared out. First responders have cleared out. So, but there's an empty, burned down husk of a warehouse. If there's anything you guys would like to do here now for this separate plot line than the other plot line, you guys are welcome.
Take it. There's lots of keep out tape.
There is keep out tape. There is crime scene tape, and such like that.
Okay, so I will try to see. I use my my plant body to see if I can actually sense if this is a nexus point.
Okay, roll me on. Yeah, roll me an occult or something to do with your plant body. Either roll
Okay.
works.
Yeah. So plant body is 2D. So I got a 7.
Can we assist him?
How would you like to assist?
I would like to help him tap deeper into the ley line.
Sure.
And because you're just trying to find the nexus of the ley lines.
Just to see if this is a nexus point. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can do that. So I'm going to try to activate, and I did with a 15, 17, and then I'm going to use enhanced senses to try and help him out. And
for our audience to see, Mike has linked an interesting picture for us.
Is that his evil big brother?
That's the only snowplow robot I can find on Google Images.
And 6, 12, I got 14 and a cat head.
I trust you. So
I similarly wanted to assist on here. Since I hear that that's under us, I want to dig.
Okay. You're gonna have to dig through foundation and asphalt and such like that. I don't think that you have the ability to, but we can try.
That is a 27
on your super strength. Okay.
On burrowing.
Burrowing.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's right. He's a Belgian Malinois. All they do is dig. And
well,
I paid attention to what you told me. I did research on the stories that I've heard from you. Also, I wanted to, before I start this, I'm like, hey, Mud, would you be able to turn back time to before this building was burned? And then,
okay. With this super strength, he's actually making progress on the concrete and foundation and asphalt. You guys see chunks of concrete flying everywhere. You guys have to dodge.
The body of Jimmy Hoffa.
Mag, you are like, oh gosh, I'm going to have to sweep this all up afterwards.
I go ahead and start calling my friends at the streets department and ask for a pothole crew. Looks like Bernie's getting some overtime.
So, Brandon, 27, so divided by 6, that's gonna not quite 30, so that's gonna give him 4 dice. Walt, you give him 2 dice. So, Aid, roll 6 more dice, please.
Okie doke. Oh, crikey. Okay, 20.
I can't believe that might have helped.
24.
24 now. Okay, you tapping into that.
So I'll literally walk into the hole that Ragnarok has dug, and I will take root for a couple of seconds, and I will use that to try and negotiate through these things.
You definitely feel that this is a nexus. So wherever you guys were brought to, somebody harnessed this nexus in order to hijack that teleport, possibly. You could, because powers of ley lines and nexus, when they're at a nexus, they are super powerful. And even if your personal magic isn't strong enough, you can utilize it in a ritual form, and you can just feel that pulse, and then you start feeling something else. You start feeling a corruption
music
in it.
Of True North.
You start feeling a corruption in it.
Okay. And is that just in this area, or is this something that's actually traceable to like a origin point?
No, that would be the tacos coming out of Ragnarok.
You're not feeling an origin point, as this is a nexus, but you are feeling that there is some little bit. It's not strong yet, but it is of concern to the Green Knight immediately that there is something at play here, because there's a low-level pollution, a low-level corruption going through the ley lines, and if it gets more powerful, who knows what might happen.
Is it? Does it have the feel of like the kind of magic used by the Black Compass?
Well, that would be you talking to him and trying to figure that out.
Does it have the kind of magic feel?
Well, no.
I was in Green Knight form when she did some magic. Did she do some magic, or did she just smash people with a sword?
She did not. She grabbed some sort of cable behind her, tucked her sword behind her, and flew off. And most of you guys didn't even see her. Rag's the only person that actually saw her face.
Okay, so I will explain to X-Archer that the energy of this ley line was effectively hijacked and probably used to misdirect the teleport,
Mhm.
and maybe you can kind of relink into that energy, your own energy that's there, and see if you can actually find out how it was manipulated. That might lead somewhere.
So, how are you going to tap into Green Knight, Mr. Wizard?
For like
To
tree
try
sap,
and sense it
like
yourself,
maple
to try
syrup.
and. Well, I didn't know, because if you want to see, he doesn't know the signature of Black Compass. So you'd have to try and basically line yourself up to try and feel that energy yourself to see if you can find it, to get that signature. So
Once he,
how.
yeah, I'll use the same thing.
Okay.
So I'll use wizardry to use a super sense,
Mhm.
and I'll use it won't be as powerful because I'll use a point to imbue, so that he can actually use the sense. So I'll
Okay.
use a boost shareable by others,
Okay.
and then that way he'll be able to see it. So I have to activate first, which I did, and then
Well, Walt's doing this. Well, Walt's casting it, and Green Knight's like, I don't know the signature. I'm like, it's easy. It's a circle with a line halfway through, pointing up.
and then it'll be 3D because one of the dice is for, oh, that's terrible. Retroactively, may I use a competency die? Because that is really terrible.
Boy, do I need the help.
I will allow it. Sure, I will allow it.
I'm
all
about
right,
to
so
swear in
that's
Spanish, Walt.
that's a little bit better. So
Can I give
10.
Walt one of my
10,
competency die
sure.
if he needs the help?
No, because that actually is a power that.
That's
that does
leadership, which this group is sorely in need of.
It is actually a leadership advantage. Okay, Walt. So yeah,
Well,
you
Chingao, man.
you put your hand on Green Knight and you start focusing, and Green Knight and you start feeling, and yeah, you feel there's definitely that True North's magic. Sorry, not True North. I got all mixed up. Brandon,
True
shut
North
up.
is a boy band from another game that I ran, and she pulled it into this. Just saying that just makes me laugh.
Yeah,
And
it was
has been
okay.
brilliant.
No, the Black Compass. You definitely feel the magic of Black Compass. It is actually the majority of the Black Compass aren't casters. Actually, they employ a lot of goons and whatnot, but their leadership, they do use magic, and this magic definitely lines up with that you feel. But you've never had them deal with tapping directly into ley lines before, so they clearly polluted the ley line as a result. And now, Green Knight, you now know that signature, and you can feel for it in the future.
Okay, yeah, because I haven't got anything that kind of allows me to kind of reach out at the moment. But if I get within the vicinity, maybe I can pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
so now we know that the fire was caused by somebody hijacking the ley line, probably, sparking.
Well, that's a good point. Sorry, when Ragnar was here, did he actually detect explosives? 'Cause there was actually explosives, wasn't it?
At the
Yeah,
warehouse.
I smelled the explosives while
That's
we
what I
were in the
thought you said.
warehouse.
Yeah,
first time.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. The magic seems to basically have been the nexus was used to hijack your magic. You believe?
All right, so this is
It would have
probably the
taken
place
Yep.
where we fought the Black Compass.
Yes. This is likely where you fought the Black Compass, because you would have needed something pretty strong to hijack a teleport like yours.
So I turn
I
around.
hate hijackers.
Don't you hate all crime?
Yes, all crime equally, but hijackers the most in this exact moment.
Shut up, crime.
Turn to the
Okay.
group and
Because
say,
everyone is so awesome, everyone gets a competency die right now. Everyone. Because
I
everyone's
love
been awesome.
temporary.
Hell yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row. Oh, I
So,
dropped
we found that the Black Compass did a lot to hijack us when we had the Black Rice.
researching that shit.
Do we think that they could be involved in all this Gen I conspiracy going on?
You think they're protecting him?
Who, the Black Rice?
Yes.
Or the doctor that we're looking for that
Yes.
could be?
All of them. They're all linked.
They're all
That-
linked.
That would be interesting if they all are linked.
That'd be convenient too.
The Doctor, Black Rice, the boy band,
It's
the
all
Britneys.
connected. Damn
It's all
Britneys.
connected.
Maybe if we go slap the boy band around for a while, everybody will come to us.
It's a technique. I got to agree with the dog.
Now the thing is, we know that our friend Bianca or Brittany or whatever her name was, who slid out on the cable, she obviously this is where that happened. Mike, can mag chloride link into the city's surveillance network and maybe follow her from the point of exit from that warehouse?
I'm friends with a fax machine over in the make a phone call, what I can do. And let's call that streetwise, since I'm leveraging contacts in the city to make things happen.
Sounds fine to me.
Okay, so streetwise, I have 2D, and I'm going to put 2 more competency die into that for a total of 4D.
You know something I think that would be great, like an entire comic where mag chloride is like the robot John Wick, and there's this whole underground like network of old fax machines and like telephone booths and stuff like that he just links into.
And it starts with "You killed my Roomba."
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That's exactly yes.
Chang. That's.
They all have names,
Now, what you should have done is,
but that was Bob.
Who's connected to my Roomba, Rosie.
Now, what you should have done, Alice, is the second you said "you killed my Roomba," you should have turned your head so that the boom filled the entire camera.
I got a 10 on the streetwise roll.
Okay.
Respectable.
So yeah, your friend, the fax machine contacts another friend, and then she comes back and faxes you, and you guys see mag chloride spit out a piece of paper that she's faxing him right at that moment. Faxes out a piece of paper, and some surveillance shows that she went up, and a helicopter took her away.
No, Nick, you're with us. As far as I've heard.
Oh, thank God.
Do we have a tail number that we can check out on that helicopter?
So I'm just thinking that like people all over the city are coming home to their fax machines or their offices and such and wondering what the heck is printed out.
But yeah, sorry, Nick. Yeah, I forgot to tell you. They discerned that you had a panic attack and then let you go.
I was over here just like giving my Meryl Streep Oscar performance. Oh, my heart! Lord help me!
I apologize, but yes, you were.
You're all forgiven, Alice, as always.
And Mud, I did ask you, since you didn't realize you were in the scene, if you could turn back time to where before the thing was burned, before the warehouse had been burned, and maybe we could.
And then Matt Chloride steals my thunder because I was going to incorporate that into a joke. Damn it! But yes, I can turn back time.
That's a pretty good impression.
Yeah, that is.
I am ashamed at how well that went.
You're also very good at Austin Powers impressions.
For a tough guy.
That's right, baby. Yeah.
What was that, Mike?
He cries on the Notebook. He's not a tough guy.
For a tough guy, he does an awfully good share.
It's true.
He's not a tough guy. He cries when he watches Notebook.
Oh God! Why do I post things?
It was a public post. I didn't think you'd have a problem with me saying that.
No, I okay.
It was like public, not just friends only.
I publicized it. That was
the whole world can go read it.
Well, your cat is way too cute, Chase. Trying to bite that.
Oh,
Okay.
He's such a punk.
So.
Probably Black Compass. The
Mud,
bastard.
did you want to try and do anything?
True North, that stupid boy band.
Did you want to try and do anything?
Yes, I cry when I watch The
Walt's
Notebook.
question?
It is a stellar, emotionally driven movie, and I love it. I love it.
Okay. So, Nick, did you want to do anything before I get to Walt's question?
Didn't they ask me to turn back time? I think I'm going to do
Yep.
that.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to acquiesce to their request. It means yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll. Shit. I guess that's hourglass effect, technically.
Okay, so yeah, technically. So how are you focused? Like, how is this going to? How are you going about this?
Help me out, guys, because I was probably in the bathroom when that happened. How far am I turning back the dial, y'all?
Probably till before the fire. So what is it? About 12 hours now?
All right. So, and since I only manipulate the area around me, everything will go back 12 hours.
Okay.
I'm going to roll a 4D for my hourglass effect.
I will tell you right now that with the amount of difficulty you're going for, you're going to want somebody to assist you because the DC is kind of high.
Well, here's what
your powers aren't exactly. Oh, and I'm going to make you stunt that because your powers, with what we discussed, that's not something you're supposed to be able to do.
Right. It's only.
But yeah.
Okay.
So blow a competency die to stunt it, meaning you don't get to roll the competency die, but you give it to me and say I'm going to stunt it.
Okay.
And I'll let you stunt that at that point. So roll your 4 dice.
I'll go ahead and aid him. I'm going to bark at him and say, "Do it! Do it, Mud! Come on! I know you can do it! You're not the worthless pile of garbage that your CO said you were."
At the same time, Aid
Why
could tap
do I
into,
share shit? Why do I do that?
Aid could tap into the ley line again and then connect to Nick through like symbiosis or something like that. Maybe like grow some bark on him.
Scene to Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one.
Yes, where he
While they're all
forms the
holding
tree.
hands. Yeah, that and we're all holding hands and we are.
So sure,
Okay,
Aid, why don't you? So if you want to roll that, roll an assist on him as well, you can.
I rolled a 19.
Roll a 19. Okay.
So my barking at him is not going to help. I'm trying it anyways.
Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe if you did it as Ben Stiller in Starsky and Hutch, come on, do it.
Aid can assist though.
Okay, so plant form gives 11.
Okay, 11. So you get 1 die from him. Brandon, I'm going to let you assist with the barking, but I'm not going to give you max dice for it. You're motivating, and so motivation does help.
All right, so I have 2 die of bark not bite, my super aptitude, extra effect when intimidating, and force not finesse. What am I getting out of that?
You're definitely using intimidating and force not finesse.
Okay. So I end up with 12, 15.
Okay. Yeah, you get the full 2 die then, Nick.
So
But
3 bonus dice out of us.
Yeah, add 3 dice.
Okay, to my 19, so that's carry the 1, that's 22.
And then I can add as well. Let's see. I'll use occult to. I'm going to direct Aid toward the maximum power voltage part of the ley line, so that he can get a strong intersection.
Sure.
So hold on, Nick. Did you roll 3 1s on those bonus 3 dice since you just went up by 3?
Someone gave me 3. Who was it?
Yeah,
I gave you 3
you rolled
dice.
19.
I rolled
and then
a 19.
You got 3 dice. Did those come up 1 1 1 because you said that's 22?
Oh no, I didn't roll them because
You rolled 3 dice.
I'm fucking stupid. So
sorry.
And then, sorry for the F-bomb.
I'm pretty sure Nick's already going to make this, but at that
14. 14
14.
on the occult roll.
Okay.
So I roll 3 d6s on that.
Mike,
And
go
then wait a
ahead.
minute, Mike's going.
Oh, sorry.
I go over to Bud and say, "I believe in you."
You want to know the probability of you not making this roll? It's high. Really high. Thanks for the encouragement, Mag. Appreciate it, brother.
I totally see Red Tornado in the Christmas episode.
Oh, from Teen Titans? Or I'm sorry, Young Justice?
No.
That was Justice League.
That was Justice League. The Christmas
No, that
for Red
was
Tornado.
Brave and the Bold. That was Brave and the Bold.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Brave.
right. Oh,
okay,
God.
but it wasn't Young
Such a
Justice.
great
I knew
episode.
that. That was a
'cause
fun episode.
Red Tornado
So,
was anyway. We'll talk offline about that.
what'd you roll?
Me or Mike?
You.
Oh, I rolled an 11 on those extra 3 dice.
So that's a 30.
Okay, that's a 30. So, you guys all
Saved me from doing the math.
So, this purple, I believe we determined that's purple. This
Hold on.
purple
I do have one response when Mag says that. Don't believe in him. He's not a unique little fairy princess. We don't need to believe in him. We need to motivate him. Okay.
And then Rag bites me on the ass.
So this purple dome raises
Why?
up around your group, about a 15-foot radius, and whoosh, and yeah, you guys can literally see time turning back and things getting. You can see the fire raging and raging up, and then you see it dying down as it's rolling back time. The crates reforming themselves, and then you guys are back in just before the fire. While that time is rolling back, why don't you all roll me a perception check? Check.
Center hearing based?
No, this is sight based.
5.
5. You do not get it.
Well, that's because sight is not my number one sense. Racist.
11.
But he can
11.
sniff an ass, though.
I can sniff an ass like nobody's mother.
Okay.
A 7. Oh my
7.
god, the hurt is real.
Okay. 8.
I have no dice, so I get 1 dice, and it's
Okay.
a 5.
Hey,
Okay.
we're 5 brothers.
Yeah, nobody rolled all that well, so we're good.
No, Mag's got 11, I
Mag.
think.
Mag, you got 11? You said?
Yes, I'm highly perceptive.
Okay. You spot casino dice, like what look like casino dice, white dice, black pips, but they look about the size of Chinese hand acupuncture balls. You guys know what I'm talking about? They're about this big.
Yep.
Okay. You see 2 white dice with black pips about this big, and off in the corner, near the base of one of the crates. And then as you keep watching, as you were watching, you think, wait, that's actually where the first fire started. You see little sparks coming off of it as it the dice explode, and then it started cascading through as you're watching backwards. It shrinks down the fire towards the dice.
So the dice were the source of combustion.
The dice were the detonators.
Clever.
I share my observation with the crew.
Hey, Walt.
Mm-hmm.
You know that signature.
And apparently, I know that signature.
Yeah. You grew up with this woman. Her name is Bethany McCain, and
Of course it
of this
is.
city.
she's known as Big Bet.
She's known as what?
Big Bet.
Big bet? Like BET?
Yes, BET. She had she found that she could basically she's Gambit with dice.
Bitch. No, that's awesome, though.
You
That's
grew
cool.
up with her. You were good friends. Your uncle and her father were best friends.
Ooh, that's not good. So, for to have the Oliver Queen Arrow TV show flashback,
On the island, of course.
well, this would have probably not been on the island because copyrights and all.
It was on a peninsula.
It was on a peninsula.
Technically, it was in Florida.
The ex-archer's uncle was one of the protectors of where we are, and they
give us the flashback scene, the setup flashback.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah, yes. The young kid being taught to groomed from a young age as an Olympic hopeful, shooting arrows and stuff like that. Big Bet, not really getting into it that much, always playing with a handful of dice during that awkward D&D phase in high school. And then
Some of us never got out of it.
And of course, the two the figures off in the corner, just talking. But so the ex-swordsman was one of the Crimson Guardians, a callback maybe some fan service to Apogee Comics. There was
Patent pending.
patent pending. There's was one of the Crimson Guardians for this area.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm totally stealing all of this for the next issue of Crimson Guardians.
Oh, well, then you're going to love what I have planned for Walt for the story in the long run. Hold your horses, because I have story manipulation on his background. I have story manipulation on your background.
My equine are held.
So, yeah.
I smart.
So during the comic panel flashback, Walt X Archer downloads some information to all of you, so you understand that he has a history with the woman that attacked you guys.
Big bet.
Bethany McCain.
We need to dice her up.
Oh my gosh, Brandon.
Yeah, that was rough. I think you might have to pay a competency die for that one.
Yeah, I think you owe one.
You're not getting a die for that one. Ouch.
I mean, he has to pay one back.
Missed the mark. It's like watching a pole vaulter when the pole snaps mid bend, and then the guy bangs his ass against the metal.
You know, if we were at the table, I just have to have a bucket of D6s, and I'd start chucking them every time.
Just flicking them at him.
Yeah, flicking it around the table.
This is your penance.
Here's a piece of candy. Here's a piece of candy. Here's a piece of candy. Everywhere. Okay.
All right, so I let everybody know this, and that we should probably get on our game and find out more about what happened to the hockey player.
Yes.
Refocus our efforts because we were distracted by the fire. And
all right, so the big takeaway here was Big Bet was probably hooked up with a conspiracy, and we should do something about these exploding dice.
Yes.
Okay.
She bad lady. She bad.
I call some friends in the waste disposal unit, and they get some cop friends, and they come. I guess you want a bomb disposal unit probably to take care of exploding. It's a whole crate full of detonators, basically, right?
No, it's just two of them, right?
There was 2 dice, and then there was fire. There were, that it lit everything else in the place on fire. With there was other explosive powders in the warehouse that cascaded the explosion really quickly. But you guys are only turning back time temporarily within your bubble as you're walking around. So basically, as soon as you leave that spell, leave that power of his, it'll revert back to the all burned down and all gone.
Oh, okay. So then nothing to prevent them. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's just this is crime scene forensics for you guys at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you missed last week. It was kind of a cool week. They had to. It was very comic booky where they had to jump through a portal so that they didn't burn up.
Okay, gotcha, cool. All right, so we're going back to Northeast Hospital to check in on the injured guy to find any clues there.
Sure, that's what you guys want to do.
Unless someone has a better idea, because I'm kind of grasping at straws.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a while until the concert, unless we go and investigate them. Because are they local? The band.
They are. This is a homecoming. This is going to be a homecoming concert. They are coming back. Yes.
All right. So they're probably still on the road.
They're locomobile.
I see what you did there. Dragging in stuff from other games. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, he's been doing that all day.
Hey, X Archer. What do crap dealers eat for dessert?
Well, you guys have a couple of locations you guys check out.
Hurt.
You guys are already in the warehouse districts, and you guys know about Flegel on Beagle Street, or Beagle on Flegel Street.
The Beagle Flegel.
Which is actually only a couple blocks from this place.
Is it the Regal Beagle? Maybe he got it mixed up. Maybe it's just a Three's Company throw-in.
By the way, I'd just like to point out that Black Rice was given some directives and made up random names. These are not necessarily accurate to what the GM will give you later.
The Regal Beagle is actually a bar in San Diego. I've been there, and it's completely fashioned after Three's Company. And
that's awesome.
That's awesome.
And
okay.
If you like beer, they have awesome beer flights. Just saying.
Awesome.
I will go investigate the fire on Flegel Street.
There was no fire there.
There was no fire.
That's where the Beagle, which is what Black Rice, and I got to say that every time just to make Brandon laugh because apparently it's a joke.
I think
maybe we need to go talk to Plato.
I put a link to Black Rice in the chat. It's a thing, and I just ordered some because we've been talking about it for a month now.
Yeah, I know it's a thing. Brandon and I actually eat it pretty regularly.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's earthy. We eat it in a 7-grain mix, and we eat it in congee. We also spike our brown rice with it.
Next
We do it in
episode on the
7 grain.
BAMF podcast, Alice's cooking channel.
Anyways, sorry
I
guys.
asked the question. My
Cut.
bad. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry guys.
I went
But
ADD squirrel on that.
yeah, I'll tell you about it later.
Okay. Cool.
Anyways,
So let's go find the beagle.
Back to the Beagle
Okay.
on Clegal Street.
so you're gonna go a couple blocks away and go to another warehouse, and this warehouse is going to kind of have it's going to kind of be a flashback moment for some of you as players. When you get there, the warehouse itself seems to be abandoned. You guys can get in pretty easily. The inside seems to be a makeshift medical facility of some sort.
Does it say it on the outside that this is what this is, or this is just that's
This is a warehouse outside. There's no markings, but inside it seems to basically be, you've got the clear tents, a couple of clear tents. There are several hospital beds inside, several hospital gurneys. There's machines.
It's an underground hospital. This is where they're infecting the homeless guys with the cancer stuff.
Is it? Are there any people in here?
At the moment, no. Actually, let's make that correction. There is actually one bed that is currently occupied.
But there's no staff.
No, there's no staff.
What the fudge packa?
And do we see the banner on the ground? Welcome to Mecca's temporary relocation camp.
No.
Is it a concentration camp?
I think really hard about it.
No.
Different type.
There is one person in a bed, and as you guys approach that person, it looks like she's a homeless woman.
Haggard.
I'm
Yeah,
going to transform back to
Okay.
my Mark Davis personality.
Sure.
Did they have photographs on the files of the people that never made their appointments? And is this one of the people that was on that files?
Yeah, they had pictures. She's one of the ones that She's the one that has been missing 2 weeks of appointments.
Okay, so once I turn back, I will take a look and I will say exactly that to everybody else. I said, this is another person who missed their appointments, same as the other guy.
She's the one that's been missing the least amount of time.
Hey, Mark.
I will let the other carbon-based life forms conduct the interrogation of the human. I will look for any records and talk to the phones, fax machines, computers, see if I can find out any details.
Check for CDs too. Laser discs. I mean, don't discriminate.
Flash drive.
Okay.
Whatever.
No, my best friends are laser discs.
8 tracks.
Why don't you roll me something, Mike, for your interaction with the
And
machines?
Brandon is back.
Why don't you stop Brandon from talking and roll dice?
I can't.
2d6 for Streetwise. I don't think I used all my competency die on that last roll, so this will be just 2d6.
I think you still have one competency die right now. If you
I
don't.
rolled 3d6.
I'm gonna sniff around and just see if I can help him out.
Okay.
I got 8.
You got 8.
You just take the highest 2, right?
No. You get for aptitudes, you get as much as 3 dice. So if you roll 5 dice, then you go to 3. But you are throwing 3, so you keep 3. 9.
Will
Okay.
my scenting around possibly assist him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll it.
Go ahead and grab one more die and toss it in there, Mike. I got a 10.
Brandon, you're scenting around and you find, hey, there's a camera on the street there that he could talk to.
Okay, I got a 4, so my total is now 13, and I'll talk to the camera and whoever else is seeming friendly.
Sure. So the camera outside around the, for a neighboring warehouse has some information for you based on, the people that are coming and going here. There is, he talks about a white little Toyota Camry that comes and at regular intervals and stepping out of that car is a bald guy, and you can get a video feed up on something. I figure you can, it can send the video feed to something that you want to send it to.
His
and you get a
hand
picture.
has a monitor in it.
You can get a picture of the guy. The guy is bald. The guy has glasses. He looks kind of stern.
Oh, it's
And
that guy. That guy.
and your character was at Mecca last week, even though when you weren't. So you actually your character has seen the picture. The picture is of a Dr. Hugo Severide.
Dr. Hugo Severide. I share this information with everybody else, so that's a direct connection between Mecca and here. Hugo Severide is our guy, and
Hugo Severide isn't directly associated with Mecca. He's being brought in as, a visiting consultant. A contractor. He's not, and he's brand new to Mecca.
Okay, and I'm guessing that's his white sedan we were talking about.
Yeah, white Toyota Camry.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I talked to my friends in the streets department, see if they can get a license plate number and an address, and then I let my human companions know about this and see what they turn up on their own investigation.
Sure. Okay, so you guys go over to the homeless woman, and she definitely looks like that she's a bit haggard. She's not totally out of shape. She looks like, she keeps herself somewhat in decent condition. But she doesn't seem to really be seeing you guys there, and she kind of, as if she's seeing something else, and she's just kind of disoriented. What is your guys' plan?
I wonder if
It's dead air.
Can Mud I had my mute on, it wasn't my fault. Do you think Mud can use some of his first aid medical stuff? Maybe bring her out of this?
I sure can.
Okay. Mud, what is your what are you trying to do to help her?
What's wrong with her? She's in a coma, right?
She looks like Merle Haggard.
You're military. She seems to be having a PTSD episode.
Oh, okay. So, okay, all right. I'm going to, because that power is through tactile. I have to touch her. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to quiet her mind.
Okay.
And so my hands will be placed on her temple and bring her out of that PTSD episode.
When you touch her, that the way I understand your power. So forgive me if I'm wrong, and correct me. But you actually kind of absorb some of that before dissipating it, right?
Yeah.
It kind of comes at you.
Kind of like John Coffey on the Green Mile.
Yeah. And so, as you're trying to calm her mind, you just start seeing, little bits and flashes of images where she's out in the battlefield and, they're hunkered down against enemy fire. And you can see that she's screaming for one of her unit members that had hit an IED when they were driving on patrol. And, and you can see basically that she's reliving bits of that scene where she loses everyone in her unit.
Okay. All right, let me roll and see what I can do here. And that is a 3D. So, boom, I rolled an 11. And I'm going to try and manipulate that PTSD episode, that memory, into something a little bit more pleasant.
Okay. At 11, yeah, I think you can slowly start tweaking it a little bit. You don't know how well it'll last long term. You think that it would take a couple tries with your superpower to really help fix this, a couple sessions. Maybe you should be a therapist.
I should. I mean, my background right now is an ER nurse, but when I'm not crime fighting, shut up, crime.
And so, you start tweaking it a little bit. You're not trying to traumatize her memories or trying to, violate it. So you can't do major changes, but it does help a little bit that, the instead of everyone, she's losing everyone right at the scene. One of them is shot in the shoulder a couple inches off from where he was shot, and he's in pain, but he's okay, and she can help him, and she's not feeling quite as helpless. So she starts coming out of it, and she
So descriptive. I'm about to have a PTSD episode.
I'm sorry. And
Wow.
she comes back to where she is, and she looks around, and where am I? Who are you? Where's the doctor?
Okay. Thinking on the fly. What's her name again? I'm sorry.
Her name is Janice McKenna.
Janice McKenna. Janice, it's okay.
Who are you? Where am I?
Well, my name's Preston, and I am a soldier, former soldier like you, with similar experiences, and I just kind of helped you out a little bit here. I could probably do
Are
more,
you
but
are you one of Dr. Severide's assistants?
sure, why not?
Oh, where is he? He said he'd be here when I woke up.
He had to attend to another patient, so he sent me here to help out a little bit. And it seems like you're feeling a little bit better. You, how are you feeling?
A little better, yeah. And she starts trying to move her leg, and that's when you notice that she's missing one leg.
I was gonna be like, it's not there. Da, da, da.
And
Is
she's
she
like,
aware that it's not there, or is this like she's waking up and like the leg's
yeah,
just
no,
not there anymore?
she's trying to move, and she says, he said it'd be back. He said it would be back. Where is my leg? She starts breaking down again.
Oh crap! I gotta wait for the next round before I use any more power.
He said it would be back. He promised I could walk again. I can't get a job like this. My little one, I need to get back out there.
Is she hooked up to anything as far as like monitoring equipment, drugs, IV, anything?
She has an IV in her, which is standard for, which is standard fare when you're
any marks around her arms, around where that IV is? Or is she clean?
She does not have. No, she is not
No
a
crack
user.
marks. Okay.
No crack marks.
Are we all in our heroic persona? I mean, Mag Chloride really has no choice.
Except for Mark Davis, I believe he came back to us.
He's in his tweed jacket.
Yeah,
with the elbow
And
pads.
Mud
smell
just
of
told him
tweed
that
has come on.
And Mud just told him that his name is Preston. So
I know. I was like, oh, really?
Could have been anybody.
Yeah.
I didn't say my last name though, so my identity is.
That's true. Your identity is still safe. It could be.
It's still screwed.
Does Mud wear a mask? Do you have a Mud mask?
Oh God! Yeah, for exfoliating. Oh my God! I really should have double checked that name. Damn you, Primus! Damn you!
So I mean, your face is covered, right?
Yeah.
All right, then I don't feel weird about having like a full on like basically like a hockey mask with goggles walk up and be like, "Ma'am, can you tell us how you got here?"
Yeah.
Were you approached by Dr. Severide?
I was approached by a recruiter saying that they were researching war injuries, and that the doctor could grow back my missing limb. I had it blown off in an attack. The social services took away my daughter, and I ended up losing everything. And
I'm sorry, somebody kidnapping kids.
Nope. Stand down. Don't pee on anything.
Or drag your ass on the floor like
again.
They said that they would. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, Brandon, I just read what you wrote. I'm hitting the button then. Bye now. The recruiter said that they'd pay me for the research, and I'd have my limbs. I'd be able to walk again, and well, I could really use the money to pay for an apartment, get myself back up on my feet so they'll give me back my little girl. I mean, she already lost her father.
All right, so first things first.
Give her a taco.
Yeah, absolutely, because tacos make everything better.
Carne asada taco.
Oh yeah, which situation, or al pastor, but which situation isn't better improved by tacos?
Aid, do you know about the magic that is tacos?
Vaguely.
Well, I'll tell you what, Aid, you take
No,
your
it's been funny.
take
With
yourself
you
across
guys,
the
it
pond,
sounds
you
like
come visit me down here in Texas, and I'll take you to some of the best taco places in the damn country.
I say it sounds almost like a religious experience the way you
It
talk about
is.
it, but over here it's just like, taco.
You will see many Mayan and Inca deities as you eat these things.
Trevor Noah has a great sketch about coming and having tacos for the first time.
Yes, you should definitely see that sketch. I'll find it and link it to you. But back to game.
All right, let's get a blanket around this lady. Let's sit her up.
Okay.
If we can,
I'm gonna get her some water.
get her some water.
Brandon, roll
and-
me your supersonic census.
Oh yes,
we need
session's gonna
somebody-
wind down. I'm gonna burn a comp die.
Okay.
we need somebody to kind of give her the once over. Make sure that if they gave her Gene I,
Well,
13.
that's what I was just checking. Brandon, you
I
smell
have been smelling around this
Yes.
place. That's where I was.
Yes,
And
exactly.
I can also
You-
check her medical charts since I'm an ER nurse and a former Army medic. I can
True.
use medical.
You
ability.
are smelling G9 in this place, but you're also smelling something else. You're smelling you're smelling a lot of chemicals and such, and so as you track it around, you notice that basically in the lab area that's set up, it seems that it's not pure G9, but it's being manipulated. There's chemical experiments going on. And as you're smelling around, yeah, she definitely is giving off the musky scent of someone who's been dosed as well.
with some of Aid's academic background, can he check into some of these experiments? Do you have that kind of background, Aid?
He does not.
It's mostly folklore and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come in and I'm like, hey,
He-
ex-archer, I've been checking the place around. I think somebody's been messing with the Jenny. I think she's hooked up on the Addies, the Uppers, the Beans, the Black Beauties, the Pep Pills, Speed, Dexies, Zing,
Yeah.
Study Buddies, Smart Pills, Cloud9, Vanilla Sky.
We
White
stop him
Lightning.
before he gets any
Yeah,
deeper
Nick-
into
Nick-
this.
It's your dog.
Nick, why don't you roll me a medical check to see if you notice anything, off about her charts.
All right. Stand by, and we are. No, do what I tell you. Shut up, crime. I rolled an 11.
Okay.
I don't know if that shut up crime or not, but I rolled an 11.
Okay. Her charts include
Feels
progress. Her charts include progress charts over the last 2 weeks. And the early on, it's basically assessment and her vitals and such like that. And then they get into some, the treatment 1, and then some stuff. And you notice that basically her nerve damage is regenerating her. She doesn't have her leg back like she was commenting, but that there's some tests that's showing that her nerve damage is regenerating over the last 2 weeks, and she has been basically medically sedated, which for some people with PTSD, that medical sedation can leave you in hazes of in and out of episodes, which is probably what caused her to be actively in PTSD when you guys arrived, and she was completely in a fugue and did not know, because medical sedation causes that in certain people with PTSD.
Right.
Now-
Okay.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Aid.
I was going to say. So this Jedi stuff, is this a normal effect of Jedi, or is this something that's been manipulated to actually cause this regeneration to occur?
Gene I is a drug that activates dormant DNA to create unknown superpowers, because basically each person's DNA will generate them different powers. So if they take it, they will temporarily become superpowered, but what their power is going to be dependent on their personal DNA, usually. So the fact that now you guys have 2 cases of regeneration, that
So
is
someone's-
unusual,
So
unless
someone's
they...
directed it somehow. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's similar to Extremis.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
that either they're finding specifically compatible people to experiment on, or that there is definitely something that is not just normally naturally of gene eye dosing.
So
And
it's stand to reason that the manipulation of the gene eye that's been going on in this facility is they figured a way to focus it and not just leave it to chance.
Mm-hmm.
And the danger in this is it seems like they're grabbing people off the street to experiment on, even though they could have, I mean, just imagine the billions and billions of dollars, trillions of dollars that would funnel into something like that once the research is proven. The fact that they're basically testing everybody is like no bueno.
Yeah, we think that Goffrin came here, got this, and then look at the cancer stick that he became. This Yennefer stuff is just no good.
Yennefer.
So that Goffrey bloke, though, is in the public eye, isn't he?
Who's
Yeah,
that? The Severide?
The Goffrin.
The hockey.
Oh
player.
yeah.
Yeah, the hockey player is so he would have effectively have to have disappeared for so long if he was stuck here somewhere.
He was out on injury but came back soon.
Gotcha.
I'm surprised that they let him back with the records not being at Mecca, that they would have had to see good recovery. Maybe they're not as clean as our super fan thought they were.
Did Mike find anything in the computers to give records for people that have been here, or was it all paperwork again?
It looks like basically that it's all paperwork here. They did not keep anything on computer.
Okay.
And the only charts you find here, the only paperwork and research you find here is her charts, because he's keeping her charts here to keep jotting stuff down. But
so there's no back information or anything like that. It's all just
in general, it seems like
coming in.
this person's actually a little bit careful with his research, keeping it close at hand.
Okay.
But yeah, I saw that one doctor you guys had done before coming in and out of here, and I got his car and his license plate, and I passed all the information along.
Okay, so I will say, of course, okay, Dr. Silverite, yeah, I told you the guy sounded like a Bond villain. This is definitely true. I mean, yeah,
You get the drooping earlobes and everything.
It's not surprising me in any way, I thought.
Okay, so I take it you guys at this point are going to go to the house where the license plate's tracked? Is that what I kind of got the impression of?
Hey guys, I got a great idea. Let's go to the house for the license.
It's not me pushing. You guys still have multiple locations. I'm good with anywhere. I'm just trying to get an idea because we need to close up in 10 minutes.
Okay,
Let's
so
do
what
it.
are we going to do with this lass on the gurney? Are we
Okay.
going to free her, or are we going to leave her here? Or?
Yeah, I want to find out what you guys do with McKenna. By the way, she was a sergeant in the military.
Okay.
So
what was her military specialty?
She was oh gosh, I forgot the term.
Kicking ass and taking names.
That's
she was a ordnance. There we go. She was ordnance.
beauty. Okay.
Okay. Let's not grab her like
Yeah.
but like let's grab her.
As Mud was about to grab her.
No,
Not
you don't. I
sorry.
need this treatment. I need my leg back. Nobody will give me a job. Nobody will help me. I need to get my leg back.
We have options for you. But
Yeah,
first we
can't you ride a unicycle like that?
Comp die.
do not pay attention to the talking dog. And no, it's not the dog talking. So let's get her to an actual medical facility that isn't Mecca.
Okay.
We'll get her to let's get her cleaned up, get her there. We'll leave a card for my alternate ego and the business, Archer Fencer Fighter,
Okay.
and tell her that she's got an open job interview whenever she needs it.
Okay.
And they can fit her with a prosthesis when we get her to a medical center. But
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure they're going
expensive.
to, that we can cover that.
Okay.
But let's get her somewhere where we can get any of the gene eye out, because I mean, if they're experimenting on her and this process isn't perfected, this could mess her up a little bit. So
we can bring her to the hospital I work at.
Let's do it.
Nick has connections there and can keep it quiet.
And I can make sure that there's an error in accounting and she doesn't get charged for the shit either.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, I'm down.
You can just have Mike fax back some, paid off bills.
You connect to the intraweebs and makes that happen.
Okay.
I enjoy committing fraud. That is fine.
You want to know the chances of me not caring about that? They're high, really
And then,
high.
and you guys go, and we're going to cut where you guys are, where you guys teleport out back in the backyard of the building, because Walt likes to teleport you guys, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the cutscene on the comic panel is you guys are teleported to the location in the backyard of that address.
I bet everything's going to be easy from here on in, guys.
And I'm going as Green Knight as well. I'm not
Yeah.
saying myself, yeah.
That's I guessed that, but thank you for double checking with me. I appreciate that. I assume everyone's in their heroic ID. Mike, actually, why don't we sign off? Then we'll talk about close-up stuff. So, Mike, why don't you sign us off?
All right. Hey, folks. Thanks for tuning into the Banff podcast. Appreciate listening to our ongoing Supers Revised actual play. We're going to have a link in the show notes to the Super Revised book from Hazard Studios. Say hi, Walt.
Hi, Walt.
That you can pick up at Drive-Thru RPG. And once again, thanks to all our players and our audience. We'll catch you next time on the Banff podcast.
Bye, everyone.
Cheers.